Hello, teacher. We are Quynh and Phuong, and today we're going to present about the concept between individualism and collectivism. So let's begin with the concept first. In individualism, which is well known as me society, people tend to prioritize the freedom, personal achievement, and something like the needs, the right, and the goal that over those of the group. And people who live in the individualism society usually have the direct expression, which is known as the common communication style of the society too. And how about collectivism? Quynh will show you some point of this.
So, in contrast, collectivism culture, it means that the we society emphasize on the group or community and raising the harmony, cooperation, and shared goals. And people who live in collectivist culture will always have the indirect expression. And now we will move to the some key differences between two this culture.
So some factor that can represent that their collectivism and individualism. The first point is about the self-concept and identity. So the self-concept refers to how individuals perceive themselves, and the identity relates to how people define their place in society. So in collectivism, which are well known in Japan, India, or China, people prioritize and support themselves as a crucial part of a family, a team, and their identity formation usually derived from the social roles and group membership. And they prioritize the group harmony and collective well-being too. And in contrast with individualism that usually happen in USA, Germany, or Australia, people tend to have the unique and independent identity, and those activities are derived from personal goals and achievement. And they also have the personal freedom and self-expression. Some example between two concepts is in collectivism, people tend to participate in community, community activities or family events to reinforce the unity or the bond, and different from the collectivism. People in individualism society usually pursue the individual hobbies or interests that reflect their identity, their personal color. So that is the first key of self-concept and identity. Here is the example. Here is the picture that represented the differences self-identity between collectivism and individualism. And the next key I want to present about is the decision making. So in decision making, it also makes the highlight differences between collectivism and individualism. As I mentioned, some countries like Japan and India or South Korea usually live in collectivism society. So they focus on group welfare and harmony, and those decision making usually go through the consensus driven. I mean, like they will have their common process of many people to make the final decision, and it also involves multiple stakeholders, and they tend to have indirect communication that avoids conflict and differential to hierarchy. And those important decisions, usually guided by elders or leaders of family, like the marriage or residence decision. So this can reflect the family or community values and individualisms like USA, Germany, or Australia. People focus on personal goal and self-interest. They have the quick and self-reliant decision that are made by themselves, and they rarely ask other people to help them bring out the final decision. And the communication style usually direct, and they are open to debate or disagreement. And some personal decision usually made by themselves, like their lifestyle or hobby, that can reflect their self-expression and individuality. That is my point of the factor between collectivism and individualism. Some other factor will be presented by Quynh too.
So besides the differences that my friend already mentioned, I would like to introduce some other significant differences between collectivism and individualism culture. So, a social relationship, collectivism emphasizes on the group harmony. People are more likely to define themselves in relation to others, and their identities are often shaped by the social role and or the connection within the group. And in contrast, individualism emphasize on the personal autonomy. Uh, it means that independence and personal goal are prioritized, and people define themselves based on the personal achievement, quality, rather than their role in the group. And in collectivism, relationships are based on the interdependence and mutual obligation are very crucial. There's a strong sense of there's strong sense of duty to family, friends, or other social group. And like my friend already mentioned before, the decisions are often made with the well-being of the group. And there's often a deep sense of loyalty and belonging. Social bonds are typically long-lasting with an expectation that individual will help each other and it will help individual other. And as for relationship in individualism, relationship in individualism culture are often seen as the voluntary and based on the personal and people are more likely to focus on the personal fulfillment and self-expression. So we will see that almost relationship in individualism culture are very flexible. It is more temporary based on personal need, even though sometimes those relationships are really important. Here are some examples between to this culture. So in Asian country like China, India, or Japan, family relationships are central. Children have to be responsible in caring for their parents or the elders. An individual may decide to live with their parents after the marriage to take care of them as they age. And in contrast, in the United States or Canada, people often emphasize the independence in the relationship. It's common and normal for the young adult to move away from the parents and live on their own, even if it means that it means living far from their family and move to the motivation and achievement. So in collectivist culture, motivation often comes from a sense of responsibility in the group, whether that's family, community, or the organization. And people are often motivated by external pressure or expectation, such as the desire to meet a community standard or to contribute to the group success. And in contrast, individualism culture, people are primarily motivated by personal goal, desire, or the achievement. Motivation often comes from the intrinsic factor such as the personal growth. People are encouraged to focus on what the individual want to achieve. Achieving within the collectivist culture often involves other people contribution. It means that they need the strong cooperation within the group, and achievement is defined by competition and striving to be the best are the essential to pursue a success. Is that in individualistic culture, here are two examples. So we can see that in collectivist culture like Japan or South Korea, students are motivated to perform well academic, not only for personal success, but also to bring pride to their family, school, or community. So it meant that academic success means for them that reflect more about teacher and the friends' effort. And in contrast, individualistic culture like the United States and other Western countries, students are motivated by personal achievement. They mean academic success that raise the individual goal or even in the career option for them. And that is the end of our presentation about some concept of collectivism and individualism and also their key differences. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Goodbye. Have a good night.